Okay, good morning, our wonderful people. Happy holidays for those of us here in the United States.
Yes.
I saw people back home celebrating Thanksgiving. I said, "Why are you all celebrating Thanksgiving?" There's no, we do our own Thanksgiving every year, every day. But anyway, welcome to the program.
Joining us in the spirits because
Yeah, oh, is that what it is?
most of their funds come from America. So that the spirits.
Okay,
Yes.
good. How about
Let's celebrate
you?
with you people. So you bring more money too.
That is hilarious. So
I go to
anyway.
Nobudo.
Yeah, I say if they still have the spirit to dance, also what it is. So anyway, we thank you for today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mona Chimisaga. As usual, please help us to share and like and subscribe. As we all know, how these people go. They don't want our people to get this news. They have formulated the algorithm to make sure that our people remain ignorant, that they will not find a solution to their problems, that will be busy. A lot of our busy people busy fighting something happening in the Asian continent. When in Congo, people are being killed every day, genocides are being committed against our people, and nobody's saying anything, but we are busy propagating the other people's problem. But anyway, so we are shifting gears. We are refocusing on ourselves today. We are super, super excited. Our topic today is building capacity. I love that, building capacity. So join us, bring your friends, help us to share, like, subscribe, all those fancy things that we have to do to get this going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my sister. And thank you, our viewers. We appreciate you, like my sister said. If you're coming across this video for the first time, thank you. And please help us to subscribe and follow. My name is Eputasen Amadi Begi, Epi for short. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Um, like my sister has tried to make us to understand that we have people that are reporting this page, and we understand because when you're teaching what people have not heard before, when you are bringing out truths against the propaganda and lies that they've made us to swallow for years, many people will not like it. It's not something, it won't be something that everybody will say, yeah, that's no. It's only truth seekers.
Hmm.
And that's why we say that we are building a community of truth seekers, people that can embrace truth and be comfortable with it, people that will be ready to deal with truth. It's okay, I might not like this truth, but if it's truth, I'm ready to understand it better and then embrace it and deal with it. But some other person will say, no, don't tell me about truth. I want to embrace lies because it's comfortable for me. I'm used to it. So please don't bring something new. So please welcome as you continue to share. And we are increasing our community of truth lovers. It is a community of truth lovers. Male, female, you're welcome. If you love truth, you're so welcome.
Even children, right?
And even children, yes, because what we are dealing with is family rated. So it's not something that is only adults, no. So sometimes truth, undiluted truth, come from children because they have not learned that manipulative ability. They've not acquired that manipulative ability of adults. It's adults that want to bend it here, bend it here. But the child will say, but mom, this is like this. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing white. How come you're seeing black here? This is white. So children, most of them, and that's why Christ said that the kingdom of heaven is meant for people that can be like children, people that will see truth and say, if this is truth, I will embrace it. I might not be comfortable initially because I'm not used to it. We understand. If I've been living on lies, feeding on lies, and for years and decades, all the resources coming to me came because of lies. If somebody brings truth, you will not jump up immediately and say, yes, I love it. But at least if you are an honest person, you will say, okay, let me examine this. You will not kick against it. No, 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 bring it down, bring it down. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. It's impossible. This is Daughters of Truth. We are here to say the truth. It pertains to everything. So please continue to help us to share before we hit the ground running. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are building a community of truth seekers. I love that. Because for so many years, we've been living in lies. People have even begin to form their own truth. They will say, "Oh, that's my truth, my truth." Truth to God about walkman. That truth is based on just your eyes only. We are not interested. We are basing our truth based on God's standard, God's righteousness, and nothing else will suffice. So if it's your truth, you can hide it in the closet. If it's God's standard, you can bring it out and we can share that truth. That's just the way we're going. So while we're sharing, I'm going to play this few minutes video for you guys to see the work that has been done on your behalf while you guys are busy running in the forest and hoping that some Messiah that has only one watch will bring you freedom, only for him to tell you to accept defeat and go and die in your miserable condition until 80 years later he will come out and oh my goodness, unbelievable. All right, I'll play this video.
We, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony as one indivisible and indissoluble sovereign nation under God.
That means the preamble is fake. We the people, who are the we? When did we meet? And why can't we do it? There's no constitution that is near as fake, near as deceitful, near as make-believe in nature and in content as the Constitution, as what we call the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended.
The constitution that operates in Nigeria today is a fraudulent and mischievous document foisted on Nigeria by a departing military junta. I would have thought that the first item on the agenda of the government that came to power in 1999 was to address the issue of that constitution, its legitimacy. Because like the Patriots observed, it told a lie against itself by saying that we Nigerians, under God, have agreed to live together, blah, blah, blah. There was no time when we were asked that question.
Do hereby make, enact, and give to ourselves the following Constitution.
The military cannot give us a constitution.
The constitution that we have at present is a fraud.
The constitution creates massive avenues for corruption and comprehensively protects the potential beneficiaries of corruption.
The Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, is a constitution that I believe we should jettison completely because it does not augur well. After 17 years, it has created more problems for us in Nigeria.
Our present extant constitution is an imposition of the military. A Supreme Military Council that was not elected by anybody, that did not respect any known parameter in its recruitment except seniority in the army, that was lopsided in terms of its geographical identity of membership, imposed the constitution, enacted it like a legislation. It was not subjected to a plebiscite, it was not subjected to a referendum. In law, you say it's not untouched on us because the people did not agree that the 1999 Constitution is their constitution. We didn't vote for its approval.
This is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace.
Minimum condition for re-entering, for renegotiating even any form of union. Where we are now is that the union is at an end. Anybody who doesn't understand it will learn the hard way. That the constitution has been delegitimized and is going to be decommissioned.
struck down and decommission of the 1999 Constitution. So if you don't get this thing done, your naira will be fetching you, a dollar will be fetching you 3 million naira, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way you can move forward on fraud. You just can't. So I know you guys are used to it. Your minds have been twisted. The church have lied to you that if you shout enough and turn yourself to dry fish, things will begin to happen. I see, nothing is going to change until you build a foundation that is sustainable and that can hold you moving forward. Right now, the foundation that you have, you don't even have a foundation. Let me not say that. Yeah. You don't have a foundation. So you are just building on lies. Yes. And you guys are drowning in it with all the churches and praying and everything else. You're not seeing that you're drowning in your own lies.
Because they are lies too. Woo! Churches, they feed on lies. The only reason they are making the type of money they are making is because they've been lying to the people. And we are saying, enough of the lies. Stop it. Stop building on lies. Your religion is built on lies. Your politics on lies. Your life is built on lies. Everything. How can you succeed? Can you make it? And you are willing to continue to live on lies. We are saying, stop. Stop. Do a U-turn. You have been building on lies. Do a U-turn so that we'll find our way. There's a second video coming, because we are showing you. Go to our walls and Nina's platform also. You see all these videos and share them. Share them. Let it go viral. Let the videos go. They are short, but they have all the messages that will need to be sent out for this campaign. This is campaign for truth. Campaign for truth. Go ahead, please, my sister.
The unitary constitution of Nigeria is the source of all of the problems we have been trying to resolve. Everything that has brought Nigeria to where it is, that is now wobbling to some kind of catastrophic collapse, are coming from that constitution. All the contents of the treasury, the principles for managing the resources, so that's the custodians of the treasury, the custodians of power in Nigeria are not to be accountable to the populace for the contents of the treasury. Anybody talking about the rule of law in Nigeria under this constitution is just wasting his time. All atrocities committed in the name of government were put beyond the reach of the court to probe into. These same principles have matured into express provisions that became the quota system. They call it federal character. In that mediocrity, you bring the worst of everybody to come and manage everything for everybody. Go and look at the autopsy report on Nigerian Airways, on Nigerian National Shipping Line, on NITEL, on all the agencies of government that have been run aground. It was simply mediocrity.
Unbelievable. Somebody is spending their resources bringing you the truth, something that will bring you freedom abundantly. And people are finding it hard to follow. They are waiting on God to come down from heaven and destroy their enemies. And every time you look around, your enemies, a lot of them are turning 92 self. They won't die. They are here getting older. And you, the young one, you either die at the Mediterranean Sea or they will take your body parts and sell it. Whichever one that favors them. And we're telling you guys that it's not that complicated. The job has been done. Just embrace it. The job has been done. Just open up your eyes. If not, people that don't know what they are doing, people that have no idea of governance will be ruling you because all they want is your money. That's why if you go to church, you will see people praying that their children will become politicians, so they can get their own shares. That's all. They will be saying it out loud, that they're praying that things will happen where their child will end up in government so they can get their own shares. When you are in the government, you're supposed to serve the people. So a lot of things have been twisted. twisted against our mind, and we are saying that we need to build capacity to restore the people's mandate. We need to build capacity to restore the people's mandate, because if not, nothing will change. You can see we are now back in dark ages. The Tinubu and his cohorts will be busy buying themselves yachts, whatever, collecting money from IMF, using it for their own whatever use. And we are owing money 40 years ahead of time, and yet the one they have collected, nothing has come out of it. And we are complacent in all of this because nobody is rising up to do anything. Nobody is saying what is going on here. We are busy giving birth to children that their body parts will be sold at the Mediterranean Sea. That's what we're busy doing. According to Adam Smith, an African-American activist, he said that no society can flourish and be happy if far greater part of the members are poor and miserable. And we're seeing it in our land. We're seeing there is no way you can get a boy that's supposed to be a rocket scientist. You end up putting him in the bush to go and fight security. You can imagine what he will do. He will even start there to build things that you never imagine. He will come up with the wicked ways because you guys are wicked towards him because he's so gifted, but he's left somewhere pretending like he's fighting for a country that is not going to come. You can imagine the kind of next generation that we are watching being destroyed. So as the indigenous peoples of Nigeria continue their onslaught against Nigerian rogue unitary constitutional arrangement, the 1999 edition in particular, which we know has maliciously lumped everyone together against their wishes, a direct witness to the fraud of 1999 has come public with the detailed information. We are going to be playing that today for you on how the fraudulent, the Britain of 1999 Constitution was formed. Mr. Eric Teni Ola of Nigerian Tribune did not only corroborate what Ninas has been saying, but called on Nigerians to revolt and reject in its entirety the 1999 Constitution, which, according to him, was shabbily done by the military with no input from the people. As a matter of fact, he said that the Constitution was full of contradictions, errors, and imperfections. According to the seasoned journalist, the Constitution was produced and forced on the people by the military. It did not go through referendum or plebiscite, nor was it ratified by the people like it's done somewhere else. So today, we will continue our enlightenment campaign, which is to help indigenous people build capacity required to restore their sovereignty in full. And this has nothing to do with God. God is not coming down to help us in this. No amount of prayer will change our situation until we do the right thing. We keep reminding you guys that the constituents make constitution. And as far as we know, all they did was go to American Constitution, copy the first line, and then use wicked words and actions that will make sure that we do not progress while they steal all the resources. These are agents. We know that they are not indigenous. They are the same agents. We are going to play you guys a video next week. They are just working for the British enterprise. That's all. They are working for the British enterprise to continue the enterprise called Nigeria while the people of Nigeria die and perish. And our pastors, our religious leaders are busy holding our people in the church and telling them that it's a witch that is holding them down. When we know that the witch comes in the name of government, they come in the name of governors, they come in the name of local chairmanship, leader, they come in the name of presidency, they come in the name of people that you see.
The church leaders themselves, the religious leaders themselves.
Yes. And they are busy riding their fancy cars when our people are hungry. They are allocating millions of dollars to buy SUVs because the road is bad. The road that they're supposed to build is bad. Some people are busy knocking down the houses of our people because they feel like they can. Somebody gave them a clearance to build a house there. You give them clearance to they showed you the type of building, you give them clearance, and now because you are the Alpha and Omega, you unleash an unbelievable amount of wickedness on people already going through it.
Unbelievable.
Please continue to help us to share. You know that, the zoo people work, they have the money to put people online to sit and report what we're doing, but we don't care.
No.
Because revolution is offline. It's not even online. This is just to get to our people that are far away places.
Exactly.
Sister, go ahead up.
Exactly. Yeah. Revolution it's not on social media we're doing it. We're just using social media to disseminate information. So continue to help us to follow, like, subscribe, share, because you're part of the team. If you want to see things done differently, this is the only way out. Nina's is the only solution. And their template is targeted at the 1999 constitutional order, the one that turned everybody upside down. I would say it's in a
unbelievable.
You're using your leg to work. You are using your head to work. It's the 1999 constitution that did that to you. It flipped you, turned you upside down. So you use your head to work. And how can you be productive? You can never be that. So until somebody goes to flip you back so that your head will be up, your legs will be down. Be yourself. Sorry, those that don't understand evil. I love my language so much. And I believe you should love yours too. Because there's a reason God planted you in your ancestral land, gave you a particular type of food, gave you the type of language that He gave to you. Say, praise me in your native tongue. You see, sometimes when we praise God in our native tongues, there's a way it happens to you. Your body does jiggy jiggy.
It's true.
It's different from using English. You can speak English. But when you go to that your native tongue to worship God from there, it's like the earth unites with you. The whole universe, the whole nature says, yes, we agree. And doors begin to open. You don't need 70 days fasting. You don't need 21 days dehydration called fasting. You don't need the night vigil, 70 days that you'll be awake instead of sleeping to see whether God will give you inspiration on how to solve your problem. You'll be there drying up, being awake. That's why everybody's mad now. Schizophrenia is going everywhere.
Everywhere. If they don't have church next door to you, that will be banging morning prayers,
on your head,
afternoon prayers, and evening prayers. You can't even sleep to calm your brain. Your body heals while you rest.
Exactly.
If you're not resting, how are you going to think about building the next thing? How are you going to solve the next problem?
10 people, 10 groups are around your home, beating drum every night on your head. And somebody thinks this is right. This is okay. This is gospel. This is what Christ brought. I said, no. I told you, my mother came here. He said, this is church now. That this is how it is supposed to be done. That what we're doing in Africa is madness. When you encroach on other people's rights, do things with impunity and audacity, and if they call you out, you arrest them. Wow! Really? We are seeing the end of the days of oppression.
Amen.
Oppression through politics, oppression through religion. We are not removing the traditional people that say that they're doing omenana. Meanwhile, it's not omenana. What they're doing is magic, voodoo. Whether it's Islam, whatever religion that you are using to oppress and suppress our people, we are seeing the end of your days. Because every evil has expiry date. Amen. The only thing that prevails is truth. That's why we, as daughters of the land, chose to build on truth. Any lie at all, even if it's lie against your child, it has expiry date. Whatever you're using to manipulate and deceive our people, no matter what you call it, it has expiry date. Because it's only truth that will stand and prevail. God built us truth. If you have a problem and you're not telling yourself the truth, how do you solve the problem? Does that make sense? So we build on truth. If you are not used to truth, all our truth now, because when we mention your priest and your pastor, your body will start being like fire, fire, fire. We can't help you.
No,
because we are
it's
here.
not even about you.
It's
How
not
dare you even
exactly.
speak when you guys are busy building churches and our people don't have even one industry to work in? You don't have one. You will go to one village, they will have 10 churches and no place for my people to work. And then you want to worship God. You guys are not serious at all. So we are going to build capacity. Go ahead.
No, guys, yeah, we can't. We're saying, yeah, we can't help you. Like you say, it's not about you. I'm just re-echoing what you said.
Yes,
it's not about you.
You, my brother, snap out of it.
Yes.
It's not
Take
about
yourself
you.
out of our campaign. We are here to free our people. We didn't see your face.
No. It's about
we are here to free our people. This is the least we can do. The way we feel, ordinarily we'll be doing something else, something more drastic and dangerous. But Bratoni said, Kulu temper, Kulu temper. That's why we're here. Saying, okay, let's teach our people so that we don't go into some other things. Because by now, we should be flogging people. Real time, onye with the lotule, apia ya faka, topia from our land. That we are just saying, okay, let's explain to you what the issues are in case you took Holy Communion from the land of the evil people and the chemicals in it destroyed your brain and you're unable to think and reason. Okay, let's explain to you. But it has a limited time. Let me tell you. This explanation we are doing, it has limited time. Turn, do a U-turn and turn. Whether it's fake church, fake religion, fake traditional, fake Islam, fuck whatever, fake everything.
Even if it's real, the litmus test that we have is that we are looking for your allegiance. If you are choosing your so-called religion over your people, then you're not serious.
Then it can't be real.
Now, it's all about our people.
Yes, it can't be real.
It's all about our people right now, nothing else. So if you cannot stand with the people, you are the enemy.
And start wholeheartedly, stand completely. Don't stand only when they're talking about politicians. Then when they start talking about fake religious people, you will not say, no, don't go to that side. We are not listening. We are bringing down every evil, every lie, propaganda goes down. Even lie in the name of freedom fighting, it goes down. We want to build on truth, authenticity, real. If it's real, if what you're doing is real, it will improve the lives of the people. It's as simple as that. Because it's not real, because it's fake, you have to manipulate to get it forward. You have to wrap it in some lies and propaganda to get it forward. Sorry, my sister, just go ahead.
It's unbelievable. We are building capacity to restore the people's mandates. And that's a task that must be done. So while we are sleeping in Usman Danfodio's estate, the grandfather or the great-grandfather that said that he will ruthlessly prevent a change of power. He said that they will use the minorities of the North as a willing tool, and then the South as a conquered territory, and will never allow them to rule over us and never allow them to have a control over their future. This is a declaration that this man made on national TV. BBC was there with a huge microphone so that you guys will hear, So this is him affirming to his slave masters that I will do the job and I will do it right. As a matter of fact, I will do it so right that even if you put microphone on me, I will make a national announcement and put it in their ears. That's how bold and committed these wicked agents are against our people. But if we take responsibility of our future and take our space like Nina's has proposed, they will have to find their indigenous land and they don't have one. And that's where we're asking people, stop thinking. It's amazing to me how you guys go to church and you believe in God, you believe in miracles, you believe in things you have not seen. And then when we talk about this one thing that can give you freedom, the same people will say, oh, how is it? This is so impossible. How is it going to be done? But you've been praying with your Father Mbaka, praying with Father Ede, praying with Ndemon and the Flavors and all kinds of stuff. And every time you wake up, your life is worse than what it was the year before. Why don't you try something new? Why don't we remove this dark connection of 1999 Constitution so that we can own our life abundantly? So today we are going to look at the people's mandate. We are going to look at countdown to constitutional logjam and union reconfiguration. And we're going to look at how this could be a salvation for Ndibo and all the indigenous people for real at large. We are going to understand the next pathway to redemption. And we cannot end without looking at the 5-point proposition summary that we typically display on this show. And then the announcements, and of course, the wisdom of my ancestors. The wisdom of our ancestors. My children love this part of the program. They're beginning to share with their friends. Today, they like the one from last week, the pouring libation. So these are the things I'm even encouraging them now. I said, if you guys are doing anything, get that might go outside the apartment and give some to your ancestors so they can protect you. So we'll continue to teach our children. We'll continue to pass on this good news. Please continue to help us to click the like button as we go. Take the time and continue to share as well. You know what these people are doing. You know how it works. So I cannot even begin to lament over that one right now. So the people's mandate. A mandate is an authorization, an authoritative command, or a formal order to act on behalf of someone or a people. Authority does not leave the owners or the giver of the authority, so it can be taken back from the receiver once there is a breach in terms and condition of such a transaction. So it's not written in stone. Therefore, the authority to take back of or preserve self does not leave an individual or a people. Even when a criminal or a bully, even when they try to take authority by brutal force or use of gun, that can only be temporary, because until the individual or the people regains or rebuild enough capacity to retrieve or restore their stolen mandate. So, and that's what we're going through now. We know that these renegades, like Brother Tony will call these people, they are there collecting money, siphoning our resources. Obiano is somewhere in Spring, Texas, having the time of his life, taking his ugly dog for a walk, and you guys are there scrambling. I heard that a bag of beans that was $16,000 naira last year now is 100,000 naira. A bag of beans, a bag of beans that people don't like to eat. Countdown to constitutional logjam, like I said, and union reconfiguration. Under the 1999 Constitution, Nigeria, as we know it, is not a democracy. Why? Because union arrangement does not pass any of the 3 legs of test for democracy, and we are looking at government of the people, by the people, for the people. And why? Because the 1999 Constitution was not made by the people of Nigeria. We saw the witness Eric Teniola of Nigerian Tribune testify on November 7th. So this is almost 10 years ago. And also on November 18th of 2023. It's like almost 10 years anniversary. He came to remind you guys once again. We know that it's not for the people, because those who wield power do not get to power by the vote and mandate of the people. They cannot, in other words, bypass the people. Those who wield power do not act for the benefit of the people. They don't care. These are what we call puppets, right? Western puppets that are collecting their own share. The British enterprise takes some, they give them some, tell you guys you have democracy, and they do all this mago every 4 years, and our life is going down and down, and everybody is just collecting the share, and nothing is used for the people. Why the church pray for you so that you don't die on a road that the government refused to build. You don't die of appendicitis that people are doing now and going home in 4 hours in America. You don't die of it because there's no hospital to take care of it. Under the 1999 Constitution, like we said, Nigeria is not a federation. That is the Nigerian Union as defined by Unitary Constitution of 1999, which hijacked the authority and mandate of these individual sovereign nations / kingdoms that were conquered through colonialism. 1999 Unitarian Constitution only enriches the president, the governors, the legislators, I want to call them legislators, their aides, acquaintances, and family members. The union, as we know it, is not based on federal constitution, which is a union of individual constitution and charter of relationship from the constituent and component member nations. And from that, with that, we mean from top to down and not from, down to top and not from top to down. So the quasi-union is disputed on the grounds of the fraudulent foundation upon which the union is currently erected. And that is why Nigeria is in distress and is heading for the nosedive. That's the shock you guys are about to get. You thought what happened in 1969 will definitely repeat itself. Hunger, kwashiorkor. Our sisters are already complaining about it. When you don't have enough food to give to a growing child, the only thing left is for them to start having kwashiorkor symptoms. And we are number 6 oil producing country, and we have nothing to show for it.
And yeah, my sister, kwashiorkor has effects on the development of the brain of children.
It does. It does. So, that's why these people in their 60s and 50s now are acting all whack.
Exactly. So it's even the next generation. You're not only destroying this present generation, you're destroying the next generation. Let me add it there.
True. Yeah, thank you for adding that. You're destroying the next generation. And then for those of you borrowing money to continue to fund the criminality and dollar exchange rate, that is not the solution. That is not a solution. I was reading the Bloomberg business notice yesterday, and it was saying that Nigeria did not grow at all in the last quarter. I said, what are they going to grow from? Grow from fraud or from fake certificates or from criminal enterprise that is buying millions and millions of whatever they need for themselves, and nothing is being injected into the system.
Somebody put you into a mold and tied you in a cage, tied your hand and your leg and said, oh, you're not moving, you're not growing. Yeah, wow.
Hey, now, because remember they gave you democracy. Remember when France
demonstration of craze.
Yeah, Francis said, "Oh, you guys are destroying the democracy in Nigeria." So we have democracy, my dear. Go ahead.
No, continue. No. Finish on what you're doing. I just added what they are.
Go ahead, sister. There's something that I'm trying to do on this computer. Right? It's about to go off.
Okay. All right. So my sister said us about, my sister broke down the constitution to us that there's no democracy. The constitution, 1999 constitution, you can't have federation, you can't have democracy under it, period. And he broke down the democracy to us, what democracy is. And then, of course, he mentioned to us how, broke down why it's not a federation. When we say it's not a federation, there's a definition for federation. And you are busy borrowing money everywhere. I don't even know where he stopped. Yeah, okay, I can see where he stopped. So he said, this is why, because Nigeria is not a democracy and it's not a federation, because we have like micronations joined together. The only thing that will make that type of union viable is a true federation. But because you don't have that, it will not work. So this is why Nigeria is in distress and headed towards serious collapse. Now, you're busy borrowing money, trying to fund your criminality. Dollar exchange is going up the roof, like my sister said. And instead of you to correct what is making that to happen, you're borrowing money to do some cosmetic changes. That will not solve any problem. You have the politicians and religious leaders who are resisting this peaceful change, this union reconfiguration or dissolution, because this where we are now is either you do this or you end up with this. At where we are now, the default setting where we are dissolved because the union has collapsed. But if you want something different, if you still want this union, then you must do union reconfiguration. Because if you don't do that, especially these politicians and religious leaders that are not allowing people to get this information, you will become first casualty for what is coming.
Yep.
Because the house is collapsing and you're there holding it and say, don't collapse or don't collapse. The force that is pushing the house to collapse is stronger than you holding it. Say, don't collapse. Because you have refused to do the right thing. We told you that the foundation is wrong. We have to go back to the foundation. We have to bring it down and go back to the foundation so that we can begin to build there. But you say no because you are benefiting from the corruption. The force that will bring that thing down, this roof down, you will be the first casualty because it's going to fall on you. You that refuse to remove your head from where we are going, refuse to remove your head so that we'll fix it. You will use your head to carry it. You will be part of the collateral damages when this union dispute begin to resolve itself on the streets of Nigeria as the suffering of the people becomes unbearable and the threshold for this action is reached. You will be the one to be the collateral damage of what is that. You politicians and religious leaders that are not listening now, that we are telling you, this is the solution. No, let's solve this thing peacefully, amicably. You will carry it with your head. When we get to this place that we'll get to, the only dividing line will be those that stood with the fraudulent constitution because they're benefiting from it, and those that stood against the 1999 constitution and are busy taking decisive action to end the chronic or long suffering of the masses. We told you that this 99 constitution is what is killing our people and destroying them. We need to change it. We need to remove it and put the one that people wrote by themselves. You say no, you must uphold it. You will be the first casualty. By the time what is coming will happen fully, you will be the first casualty. The target is to get a union arrangement designed to ensure that there is equal partnership in the country for all citizens, irrespective of their class, tribe, gender, or religion. That is Nina's target. That's the target of any well-meaning person. We don't want how our people are going through, what they're going through. So the target is to get a new renegotiated union, if there will be a union. And if that is not going to happen, let's dissolve it. Let it be to your tents, O Israel. Therefore, the peoples of Nigeria do not want your dummy restructuring. That thing, because we'll see some criminals gathering themselves, calling themselves, they say South and Middle Belt Union or group or whatever, forum or whatever. All these politicians, if you chase them from here, they will remove the first cloth. Remove. If you tell them, oh, this cloth you're wearing is red, they will remove it. We are white. If you complain about white, they will remove it. We are black. You complain about black, they will remove it. We are blue. If you say blue is not good, they will remove it. We are yellow. Shifting from one continent, immediately from one place to the other, going here, going there, going there. And we are saying that's not the solution. We must go and solve this union disputes. So your dummy restructuring is not what we are talking about, and it's not what the people are speaking about. Because restructuring that you're speaking about, your definition of restructuring is you take the one in front, put at the back, take the other one at the other side, put it here, put it here. But we are saying what is needed is to bring down the entire evil structure. Start building from down up, like my sister said. Constitution making is from down up. not from up down. If it's up down, you're imposing it on the people. So you cannot do this for the people. The people will do it by themselves in a very structured way. And they're building capacity and consensus to do it. The peoples are headed towards union renegotiation, union reconfiguration, and union reconstruction, or outright dissolution, which is the default setting where we are now. As we go in the show, we'll break it down for you why we said that there's dissolution already. The next slide we are pulling up will show you the pillars, Nina's pillars that we have talked about most of the time. So every day is a graphic design of what we are doing, that even if you can't read, once you just see it, you will know what it means. You can see 3 pillars that were before now standing parallel to each other: union, constitution, and election. Then you see at the hand where people are standing. Those arrows you're seeing there is where human beings are standing. Those people standing there are the indigenous peoples, Ndi Obodo, the owners of the land, the owners of the resources that the politicians are sharing. All this blood that you're sharing, all this money that you're sharing, everything that you're sharing, the owners of those resources are standing on the hand of that small machine. Now, as they put more weights, I know before now, people were asking Ninas, how are you going to bring down the constitution? We were explaining to you. If you go to some of our videos before now, that we showed you Nina's templates and Nina's plans and strategies. We were telling you that the election will go down. And this election will go down, hit the constitution, and then the constitution will hit the union. And it has happened. We didn't even do it ourselves. It was autonomous. Automatic. The people did it by themselves. That's the criminals.
The criminals themselves.
We just set the things and said, okay, why? They went because they are criminals and it's volleyball. They won the ball into the goal. It took them. So they kicked the ball into the wrong corner in their madness and the passion to do evil. So the 2023 presidential election collapsed. It has collapsed. Why did it collapse? On the basis of fraudulent 1999 constitution. It collapsed based on the fraudulent 1999 constitution, because that fraudulent 1999 constitution says that you must get 25% FCT. Is a requirement, is a must, because constitution is supposed to be sacrosanct. So everything inside there is not suggestion, it's how it should go. If it doesn't go that way, then everything you're building will collapse. So, but they decided to do mago and criminal around it. So they don't even know that what they have done, that having Tinubu in Aso Rock, they have pushed down the constitution.
All by themselves.
By themselves. The constitution that we are telling them, let's bring it down. By themselves, they have kicked it. And to Dele Farah to me, or Dele some guy, he explained it to them. He said the constitution is down. And by implication, the union is down. So if the constitution upon which the union was hinged, you're building a union on the constitution and you push down the constitution, then the union is down. So the union has fallen. Nigeria is on the ground. That's why the money, Nigerian money, is on free fall as well. Naira is on free fall because Nigeria is on free fall. Everything is crime, everything is on free fall because constitution is what gives law and order to a society and guide them. So because you are now have enthroned criminal, unconstitutional thing, so everything will collapse. So Ndibo, that you have been looking and saying, hey, Tony, how do we bring down the 1999 constitution? He was explaining it to you, and we were helping him and helping Ninas also to break it down for everyone to understand that this will happen is a domino effect. This will happen and hit on this, and this will happen, hit on the other one, and that one will collapse. Because we have the people that came up with Nina's movement. They sat down, studied what is going on, and then saw where they were going. These are like scientific predictions. It's not magic. It's not the type of magic that your pastors do for you in the church. No. It's not that type of unscientific predictions, like we call it kalu business. No. It's called scientific predictions. Like you will see that if it's going to rain, I remember in those days, my father would call those type of clouds that would tell me, say, look at that cloud, it's gathering, and then this is that it's going to rain, It's prediction, it's scientific prediction. We are not the first to do it. It's usually that when you see this nice sign, you now know eventually this will happen. So that's what happened. We saw the politicians, how they were moving, and knew that there's no place they would go except for them to carry on with this level of criminality. They will definitely push down this constitution. They will eventually push
our brother Fola Shade, he said, sister, okay, it's our sister actually.
No, mommy, yes.
They did it themselves. Yes, they keep the ball. they give themselves go.
So they carried it in Bogam. I said, wait, stop kicking. I was explaining with somebody, said that we're saying, let's give Nigeria a decent burial. Nigeria, at least he has been with us for some time. Let's just allow it to die some natural, like some decent death, so that we can get coffin and just bury.
And they refused.
Politicians said, no, we are criminals. We'll do what we want to do. They cut the head of Nigeria, carried Nigeria, Ipam, into a graveyard. We're like, okay. We're thinking we'll give it a decent burial, but you want to do it by yourself. That's fine. All we want is to let that evil union go down.
Yes.
Let that book of Lucifer go down.
Yes.
Our politicians have inadvertently done it. They have done it themselves. So we want to go back because of the killings that are killing Ndibo. We want to remind them because Ndibo, they are one leg of Nigeria. When Nigeria was negotiated, the people pushing for Nigeria, they came basically from 3 regions because we had more than 350 ethnic nations. However, they were in regions: the northern region, the eastern region, and the western region. Nigeria was standing on 3 legs. So now Igbo from southeast is one of the legs. In 1967, these 2 people, the 2 legs, decided to destroy 1 leg by themselves. They did it again by themselves. You see, all this, if you are building on lies, you will continue to tell lie, to cover lie, and cover lie, and cover your lie. So you undo yourself. So these 2, under the influence of the colonial monsters, decided to exterminate 1 leg. And since then, life has not been the same. So because of what is going on, I want to link it up to you, because on Daughters of Truth, we gather information and make them make sense to you. You understand what we mean? So we want to make it to make sense to you, what you're saying now, because we know that they remove history.
Please continue to help us to hit the like button, please,
yes,
and keep sharing.
Please. So they remove history. So our people did not know what happened to them and are unable to understand and follow what is happening now. Because if you don't understand what happened before, you will not understand what is happening. My people said, if you are not there when they did burial, when you want to exhume the person, you will start from leg. So when you are not here, so for you to, and that's what we call root cause analysis. How this thing we are seeing, where did it come from? How did it start? So, and then if only when you understand that, you will not understand your salvation. So we're going to talk about salvation for Ndibo, because they are running up and down, dying, they're killing them, destroying their resources, they're asking, hey, Wichimo, everywhere, prum, scatter, everywhere. We want to bring it to them. That's why we are mentioned. So those that are not from Igbo, don't think we are excluding you. No, we are not. We are just breaking it down. These ones are the ones running up and down. We want to tell them what is making them to run up and down. So after the genocidal war of 1967-70, by the North Southwest Alliance of 1967. We know it's not everyone. We're saying not Southwest Alliance. We're not saying everyone there. No, we're talking about the structure, the structure that they put in place. They came together against the Southeast region under the manipulation of the colonial monsters, because everything happens as a result of the evil that the colonial monsters want. They want our resources in the land, so they manipulate everyone. So it's not time for, oh, it's your fault. That's not why we're doing this. We are doing this so that we will understand where the troubles are. That is where the thing started from, so that we can go and fix it. That's the only reason we are discussing this. So we are not here, it's not blame game. No, it's for you to open your brain, understand the problem. We are in health profession. So we understand the importance of proper diagnosis, accurate diagnosis. If you don't make proper diagnosis, you will not bring proper treatment, and the patient will die right in front of you. You see, the patient just goes because you're working on a false or wrong diagnosis. You see how important accurate diagnosis is. You cannot get accurate treatment without accurate diagnosis. So it's so important for us to understand. So pay attention, please. Continue to share and like so that we can break it down for you. So after that genocide, air, land, and sea were blocked. They blocked the whole region. Because people say, why are they not building in their land? Why are they not building in their land? We will break it down for you. And since 1967 till today, they've not opened the air, the land, and the sea. These are three regions, three routes that you can have communication with outer world and then begin to have economy. If you're going to build things, it's through this way that you bring in your resources that you didn't have in your land. Everything, traveling, coming. So if somebody blocks you, person keeps you in a dot. That's why you hear Buhari say a dot nation. They created a dot nation by yourself. These two teamed up by themselves. We had three legs. These two regions teamed up by themselves under the influence of the colonial masters and manipulation by the colonial masters, Britain and Caliphate, and killed Southeast. They did not only kill them, they now tied them together. You see the man on the bed. You see how that man is on the bed. Tell me where this man will go. This picture we are showing you, Ndi Igbo. They tied Ndi Igbo down. There's no way that person will get up. You can't get up, you can't walk, you can't move, you can't do nothing. So Ndi Igbo were pushed to the ground, their hands and legs tied. Then Southeast Economic Corridor became closed through the imposed Unitary 1999 Constitution of 1979 and 1999. Ninas made us to know that constitution is the victory charter by military. The military that executed the war against Southeast gave themselves victory charter because they
nail on the coffin.
Exactly, and shared everything in Southeast. That's why you hear oil block, Southeast region. We mean Southeast region. That includes the present day South, which they just carved out because they want it to go on with their criminality. So they shared oil blocks, shared gas, shared everything to themselves. Go and when we say these things, people will go online saying what they don't know. We told you that we are building on truth. Go and find out who are the owners of the oil blocks. How did oil blocks become their properties?
What do you?
It's still on till today. If you did not study history, especially those that want to create content and talk to my people, if you did not study history, so you don't know what happened at the back, what is happening today? Those in media, journalists, the so-called investigative journalists, those that are doing Rise TV, doing ladies of, what is that? Ladies, Your View, and all those people. Why not go and investigate these things? Use your brain. Let your brain work for you. Go and check this. We told you that the resources of these people were taken by the military that executed the war. They took all these things away from the people. Now, from taking away the resources in Southeast, you know, their target is Southeast, but it has to now affect every other person. So the law they passed did not only take away the resources in Southeast, it now took away the resources in all the other regions, because you have to uniformly do it. So that's how 1999, that's how unitary Nigeria came. Unitary Nigeria came so that they will gather all the resources together and control it. So that if they get any of their agents, which they will because they are holding the guns, to Aso Rock, that person will be there sharing the resources. That's why Patience said, all this blood that you people are sharing, there is God, though. So God, even God has said, wow, these people, your evilness is even more than what Lucifer will do. Because the colonial masters are using you, but you are not doing it to your own people. So the whole infrastructure in Southeast was destroyed. They destroyed everything. Military Nigeria occupation was imposed on the region and is still ongoing. Travel to Southeast so that we see what we are saying. If you're from West or not, don't just stay there and say, what are they saying? Go there and see for yourself. We are from there and we have traveled to other places. Checkpoint, checkpoint, checkpoint. There's military occupation of the Anigbo. The situation of Anigbo or Ndigbo is worse than the situation the Palestinians find themselves in Gaza. Like what you hear happening in Gaza. And sometimes I hear Nigerians saying, hey, well, give the Palestinians the freedom. What of Ndigbo? What of Igbo people living by? Why not go and find out what happened? Ndigbo cannot breathe in Igbo land. Let Ndigbo breathe. If you are looking for anybody,
and all these things are strategic. When they took over, they made sure, because they knew we were sitting on resources. They said if they allow us to thrive on these resources, that it will shame all of them. All these Western projects will be done. Exactly. And that's where all of them bounced and make sure that we are handed over to a terrorist to deal with us accordingly.
Then the unfortunate thing is that they use our own people, our own neighbors, our own Africans to execute that work. But the thing about this evil is that my people say, if you are holding your brother down, you're holding yourself down also. That is how Nigeria is down and we never arise. Nigeria is down and we never get up. Because Nigeria is being used to suppress Southeast region, suppress Ndigbo, suppress all of them in that area. So there's no way, there's no hand that you will have to rise when you're using those two hands to suppress and hold your brother down. How are you going to get up and rise? You can't rise. You're holding your brother down. So Igbo nation, like Israel, the Jews, the Igbo nation is indigenous to Igbo land. And we have been in existence for over 5,000 years in our ancestral land, Igbo land. Nigeria was created and imposed on Ndigbo. And everyone, indeed everyone, because it's not just Ndigbo. We're just using what happened to Igbo people to illustrate what happened to the other 350 ethnic nations. Because if you understand what happened to Ndigbo, you understand what happened to you as an indigenous person. If you don't understand what happened to Ndigbo, it will be difficult for you. The more you look, the less you see. Everything, it will be confusing your eye. Your eye will be doing bele, 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 bele. But if you, Ndigbo is a case study of what happened to all the ancestral nations, all the nationalities, ethnic nationalities, indigenous ethnic nationalities trapped in Nigeria. So, and its caliphate and Britain, the Arab partnership, Britain Caliphate Arab partnership, they went from slave trade, selling us and all the black people, then entered colonialism. From colonialism means they make your country a colony. And then from there, they now enter to neo-colonial project, where that is where we are now. For those that are saying where, this is where we are now. So the indigenous people, like in Igbo land, that were in their land for over 5,000 years, Britain and Caliphate, an Arab partnership, created an organism called a dangerous organism called Nigeria. That was 100 years ago, and imposed it so they can use it to siphon the resources in the land. That is it. This thing now is also what is happening in the Middle East, Middle Asia, or Middle East. Yeah, Middle East. It's just the same thing. If they succeeded 1967 in wiping Ndi Igbo from that southern region, they would have implanted the Fulanis in our land. 500 years after, we'll be saying, who owns land? How did it happen? How did it not happen? They will say, this is our land. But where did you come from? So we need to break this thing. We are breaking this thing down for our people to understand. We are not here to quarrel or argue. Facebook, please don't block our show. We are not here to cause trouble. All we are doing is to break this truth down so that our people will understand it and will be able to have solution that will help everybody, that will impact on the global peace. This hostile situation in Igbo land, imposed by Nigeria through her fraudulent 1979-1999 constitution, forced what you hear, the dot encircle Easterners, Ndi Igbo, economic exile. So our people scattered all over the world, especially in Lagos and Abuja, because our own region was made hostile and unlivable, like we were in a cage in our land. No economic viability. Our people had to move. So the genocidal war against Ndi Igbo has not ended. It's still on. There's military occupation. Our land, air, sea, everything is still closed, blocked. There's no movement. So it never ended 1970. It just became more subtle and sinister. So anybody trying to say, Ndi Igbo, go and build Ndi Igbo, let's go and build our land. This is the campaign you start from. Let us be free first. Let us breathe. My people is not about Zotan. Let's save the land first. When we deliver the land, we'll be able to put structures on them. The land is not free. Igbo land is not free. It should be hashtag free Igbo land. Because so far Nigeria is holding Igbo land down, Nigeria will never rise. It will not happen. It will not happen. So somebody will now say, so what do we do? Because we have broken it down for you. What do you now do? Join Ninas to pull down the unitary constitutional arrangement, the 1999 edition. The PowerPoint went off. To pull down the 1999 constitution, because that's a tool that they used to tie everybody down. When you pull it down, you will unlock the destiny and the freedom of Ndi Igbo and other ethnic nations who want freedom as well. So like we said, it's not only about Ndi Igbo. We are using Ndi Igbo, the situation of Ndi Igbo, to explain to you what happened to you as an indigenous person, owners of the land. Check what happened to Ndi Igbo. You understand what happened to Middle Belt, all the ethnic nations that are trapped in Nigeria. The only effective tool to achieve this is Nina's template for self-determination. It is not you shouting Biafra. It is not you shouting Igbo nation. It's not you shouting, give us Nnamdi, give us Peter, give us Batamos, give us Judas, give us Okeke, give us Okorafo, give us Mbankwo. It will not free you. Ndi Igbo, that's not your salvation. Your salvation does not lie in you shouting, give us Mbeke, give us Mbafo, give us Okereke, give us Mbankwo. No. Your salvation lies in you embracing Nina's template for self-determination, because it's an international template that other people have used to free their land and their people. And you know what? The task is being led by Nina's LNC partnership and is almost completed. Because while you were sleeping and doing all the wrong things, some people found discipline to sacrifice, found the discipline to study the template and began to put their investments in it, begin to put their resources in it. Some people, I was speaking to somebody last week or 2 weeks ago, he was telling me how much he has contributed People are selling their assets, their shares, to fund this project. It's not funding itself. It's being funded by the people, the indigenous people. You listening to me, you are an indigenous person. You come from a village. Yes, if you come from a village, then you are an indigenous person. You know your village, whether it's located in Tivland, Ibiraland, in Urobo, Ishekiri, Ijo, Igbo, Yoruba, those native names. You know your brothers, and you have a common language. You are an ethnic nation. You are a distinct people population. United Nations said self-determination is your right, but you must follow the right pattern. And NINAS had gone ahead to help us to develop that right pattern according to UN 2007 Declaration for Indigenous Peoples' Rights. So stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to distract our people with your religion, with your fake politics, with all the fake and lies that you're doing. Stop doing it, because it will collapse on your head. Our people will eventually know the truth. Yes, it's going to happen. As we continue this campaign, and we told you, share. Because as people get this information, they become liberated. This is the true gospel that they need. If you don't have freedom to be a human being, how can you have freedom to worship the God that made you? It does not happen. So please, NINA's template for self-determination is the only recognizable pathway to liberation and freedom. If you want to fund something, if you want to put your money somewhere, this is where you will put your money. If you don't have to put, then sit down and be eating and wait for those that are ready to sacrifice to continue to do this job, because it's almost completed. It's only when it's complete you will know those, because they're not hidden. They're human beings. People are sacrificing for this project big time. While some people are wasting their money doing all the nonsense they're doing, people are sacrificing, and you see them calling to know what is the next step. What do we do next? Because when you put your resources in something, you will want it to succeed. So you will pay close attention. You will want to understand it. You won't say, no, I just gave them money, I don't know what they're doing. No. Me, I'm in school. Oh. You see, this self-determination project is school for me. I have to suspend some other academic programs to start doing this. Because to read all those videos, watch all those videos, read all those materials, it's school. I'm in school.
Yes.
Tony Nad is my professor. If anyone I don't understand, I call him. I say, how is this one this? How is it? Because I'm an indigenous person. It is my right. But I have to understand how to do it so that I'll do it in the right place. So suddenly, some people that want to make quick money, quick profit from the pain and the liberation campaign of the people are busy delaying this great work. Rather than join hands for us to finish this liberation work on time, some are busy seeking non-existent future in the evil forest with 10-headed demons called One Nigeria. The other time we did a program, we got a guest here that came to explain to you the difference between One Nigeria and Nigeria that you think you're building. What you have now is One Nigeria, and that One Nigeria was established from stealing your resources, tying your hands together. That's how you got, like I have two hands. If you want these two hands to be one, you tie it together and say one hand. And when you do that, you are limiting me. I can't use my two hands to function. You see, I'm limited. So One Nigeria is a limitation on the indigenous peoples. Tie them together and force them to be one. Meanwhile, they're not one. They're diverse. Chineke, God created them to be diverse. Diverse in culture, diverse in language, diverse in potentials, diverse in capabilities. We are just supposed to work together, but not to be tied and lumped together so that one Ifulefu will be in charge of everyone, controlling us. And 1999 Constitution is what is making it happen. Some others are busy talking about think home, Ibolunu, Akuruno. Luauno where? Which Uno? Which home are you talking about? The one that is being ravaged by all sorts of terrorists and criminals. Who wants to be there? I will not invest my dime in Southeast that is insecure. Southeast, where they are killing people and kidnapping people. Our relations, we even took them away from the Southeast. And you're telling me think home. And the person that is saying think home is living in US, living in UK. Why are you not thinking home? Why are you not going in your land to go and live there and think home? See how dishonest people are. You are living in US and you're telling people to think home. You should carry your family and leave US and go to Anibo to go and live with your family. Stay there and be telling me to think home. When you stay there, then you tell me think home, I will not think home with you. Another group is Phantom Biafra. Biafra. Endless search for Biafra that does not exist anywhere. That's why some people call it Biafraud. You people have taken our goodwill from our fathers that fought 1967-70 and the world saw what we did. You turned it into criminality. You became Hamas. Because once your self-determination project becomes terrorism, you have lost your rights as an indigenous person. You don't have rights to anything. Because that you're seeking self-determination does not give you the right to take the life of other people that are next to you. UN has given the standard that any nation or people that want to get freedom will base their project on. They have done that. You just go and follow the template. No, you will not. You want to become terrorist. You form yourself into a terrorist, going around to kill the same people you want to free. Once, and that's what we're explaining to Ndibu, we break it down for you again. Once your self-determination involves breaking down of law, rules, and order, becomes chaotic, becomes taking away lives of people, destroying properties, you become a terrorist group and nobody will listen to you. No sane person will discuss with you. Some people might want to make money from you collectively. Yes, we are with you. We are doing Biafra. Eventually, nobody will listen to you. It's like what is happening to Hamas in Palestine. You team up and start destroying people. You think, no, this is 21st century. If it worked before, it's not going to work now because we have internet now. There's information now going out. So all these things, you can't use that style. The same thing we are saying to Yoruba people. Yoruba people, at the time they try to copy some of these clueless Ndibo to go and make their land to become unlivable in the name of looking for freedom. Ignorant people. Thank God for people like Otumba Sujuwade that we brought her to here. She's doing a good job. And some honest people that are working with her that we can't even mention now. So they call those ones to order. And of course, their project, by the time they start blowing up some TV stations, Nigeria got hold of them. So once you go and start performing some terrorist actions, you see, the nation that you're fighting will be forced to destroy you. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. And the people that were supporting you before, you will lose that goodwill. This is why we told our people and said, please, there's no need. The land belongs to us. The world, we just have to prove our case. Even if you do something, there's a way it's done. There's an official way. Yes, and that's how the world is crazy. There's difference between terrorism and war. Terrorism has no rule, no law. But war, they have some rules guiding wars. That's why you hear that somebody is a war criminal. That means you did some things outside the scope specified for war. As terrible as it sounds, war has rules. That's why I told people that we are going to bring down all these structures, these colonial structures. How can war, like somebody will say, sort of sitting down to negotiate something, say, no, we want to use war. So as crazy as it sounds, you have rules for war. That's why you're able to say this person is a war criminal, because in the name of war, you did something that you're not supposed to do. It's like those boxing. When you see when they do boxing, they have rules that you should not bounce, you should not hit the person below the belt or this place or that place. It's warrior or something. So they have laws. So that's the way it is. But if terrorism has no guiding law, if you just make your struggle to become a terrorist project, you will lose the credibility on what you're doing. Then another people that on a set of Ndibo, we are breaking it down for you. Some Ndibo that are busy destroying their salvation. Those ones are on some high drugs, some hallucinogens. They are high on some cheap drugs. They say it's Igbo presidency. From where? They told you, we are telling you that Nigeria does not belong to you. Nigeria is holding you down. You say you want to now lead the Nigeria. Do you even make sense to yourself? How? Who will let you do that? So these are some of the groups of Ndibo that are delaying the freedom of others. We want to be free. We want salvation for our people. And once we have salvation for Ndibo, that salvation also through Ninas, it wants to include other indigenous nations. It's not going to be only Ndibo. It will be everyone. That's why we say this project is a project for everyone. So let's go to understanding Nina's pathway to redemption. Sorry, I know our time, we're taking so much time, but I wanted to break it down because there's so much confusion. One, the commission of the, need to decommission the unitary constitution of death. We have told you that what is causing trouble is that they tied all of our hands together. If we are 350 ethnic nations, that means we have 350 hands. They tied everything together and put all of us and lumped us into one constitution. That is constitution of death. We need to decommission it. That's the first step. And it has already started and we're in the process. That's why it took all these years to get to where we are. It's a process. If you do this, you do this. You do this, you do. It's standard. Number two, immediate arrest of the ongoing attempt at state capture of Nigeria. That empowered and enabled by the 1999 Constitution and illegitimate outcome of the 2023 electoral robbery. So we are saying the 1999 Constitution is fraudulent. They now went and brought fraudulent president, illegitimate president. We have illegitimate Constitution. They went and did illegitimate election and brought out illegitimate president. Everything Ablosia illegitimate. So that is chasing to capture the entire Nigeria. We told you that colonial masters captured Nigeria, handed over to Caliphate. Caliphate has handed, is part of, because Caliphate was doing mago-mago to hold it. He fell into the hand of illegitimate presidents. So somebody will say, so what do we do as the people? Because we are the receiving end of all this mago-mago, all these things. Join in the widespread dissemination of Nina's campaign materials and information. Because information, free power comes from information. What they use to colonize us and keep all of us down is ignorance. They made us not to know anything about anything they're doing. That's what we told you at the initial part of this Nina's project. Our team had to even break the archives in British Library to get some information hidden that they used to get all of us down. So the fourth one is to operationalize Nina's Union Reconstruction template. So we see the templates and we are moving, using it. It's like in those days when we have there's this mathematical masset, we call it masset. There's this thing there that you just put it on the table. You can use it to draw your chemistry tools, you know, the test tubes, all those, I can't remember their names, a long time. So if you just have that in your masset, if you want to draw it, just put it, maybe it's a template. So the template, we have to use it and be doing the things they told us. So you can't do things outside the template. That's why we have Otumba told us last time that she was here. He said that you have the right as indigenous person to get your freedom, but you have to do it inside the template. If you do it outside the template that has been accepted and created, you enter into criminality. There won't be difference anymore from what you're doing and terrorism, and you will lose the credibility that you needed. So that's why you must follow these guidelines. So it begins with immediate transitioning. That's why even if you just go to Twitter and you're saying transition now, you're already doing something and it goes viral. Somebody will now say, what is transition? You will now understand. So even if the only thing you can do is to go to template and be saying transition now, hashtag transition now, you are doing a great job because you are building capacity. That's why we're explaining to our people how to build capacity in this thing you're doing. We are taking time because we are building capacity. Why do we need to build capacity? Because it's consensus. It's people's right. Self-determination is the people's right. There are other aspects of it that needed to be done that didn't need the people, the public. All those ones have been done for over 20 years. They have been done. They needed to be done, and they have been done. So some people that say, oh, Ninas is, nobody knows Ninas. It's not about somebody knowing Ninas. If you know that 1999 Constitution is a problem, then you already know Ninas. Then you already understood what the issues are. So you see that is success for Ninas. We are not waiting. Nina is not an organization that you're saying, okay, what is it? Oh, know my name. No. You need to, it's a campaign movement to give our people the information they need, to build the capacity they need to say no to colonialism. So transition now so that we can revoke the rogue unitary constitution of Nigeria, the 1999 edition. We want you to know there are two stages. It involves two-stage process. If you refer to the constitutional force majeure document of December 16th, 2020, the details, you have details there. But the summary we're giving you is that it has two stages, and we'll tell you. The first stage is union renegotiation, ratified by regional say or leave referendums. So what this is saying is the people need to speak. The people will speak through referendum. They will say what they want. They will say, we want to be inside or want to be outside. And it's their right. They are not begging you. So it's not Nigeria that will conduct the referendum. No. It will be supervised by UN. It will be the people. The details, the technical part, leave it to Ninas. That one has already been settled. All you need to do is to understand that we are not using war. We are not becoming terrorists like Hamas to get our land back. We are going to use referendum and it will be official. All this thing you're seeing we are doing over time geared towards that. So that's the first stage. Is after this first stage, you will now have the second stage of writing constitution or constitutions, depending on the outcome of the number one. So I go 1, I go 2. If you have not counted 1, you can't count 2. This is the process, and it will be followed. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Fake religious leaders will not do anything about it. Fake politicians will not do anything about it because the people are moving. That's what I'm talking about. Building capacity. The owners of the land, that is the monster coming to swallow the little monsters that have been destroying us. So we are building capacity, and you are part of that capacity we are building. As you're listening to us today, you have now heard. Share to Munegi. Spread to your people. We are building capacity. We are building consensus. That means we are putting hands. You know, when you're doing tug of war, you put hand together. We gather together, then we become Igwe Madu. Not Iguatoro. If you don't have information, you'll be Iguatoro, and the enemy will destroy you. But when you get the right information, not propaganda, not lies, the accurate information we are saying, if you get it, you'll be part of Igwe Madu. When we move, and anything in front of us, we crush. Thank you. I'll leave my sister to go on.
Right. So everything in front of it will crush. All we are asking for is for people to understand this project so that we can get home and get home faster. Every day that we wait, Brother Tony will say people are dying. We are losing lives, and we don't know the lives of people that we are losing. We don't know if they are potential world changer. We don't know what they can do in our lifetime. And because we are in so much distress right now, we are not paying attention. It is sad that we are wasting all this time when the job has been done. Just at least the professor, look when the professors and all these people begin to read now. Go on the website, and it's not even reading. Watch a video, because sometimes you just don't want to carry that textbook and be highlighting. Watch the video and explain these things to your church members, to your group members, to your good old boy network, so that this thing can end. There's no reason why a dollar should be 1,280 naira. No reason for it. Because we have criminals, renegades running the stuff, running our affairs. I was watching this story yesterday about Myanmar or Myanmar. And the guy, the military guy that was in charge, he's like, oh, whenever we change power, we didn't know what to do. None of us in the government knew what to do. I said, eh? And you guys took the position when you didn't know what to do to fix the economy. And this is the thing that is happening everywhere. You get a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, and they're destroying the affairs of everybody else. When you cannot manage your wife and 2 kids, now you want to come and run a whole city. How is that possible? All right, so we're going to drive home points, or point home with the 5-point proposition summary that we typically share on this show. The first one is an acknowledgement of the grave constitutional grievances raised in the union disputes. The second one is an express commitment to decommission the imposed 1999 constitution. And the third one is an express commitment to share further national election. And the fourth one is an invitation to the constituent peoples of Nigeria to work out the modalities for transition arrangement, which Sister Ekwe already mentioned. And then the announcement of a time-bound 2-stage transitioning process, which shall, in the first stage, feature multi-regional referendums by which constituent companies shall recommit to or opt out of the union. And in the second, distilled terms of union, as may be dictated by the outcome of the referendums. And here's an announcement, like Sister Ekwe says, on Tuesday is our Twitter day. Tuesday, you can tweet transition now. Ninas is right. We stand with Ninas. All these things will get the international community's attention. And there's something you can do. As long as you're in this universe, as a human being, you're breathing, there is something you can do if you want that change. And of course, we keep saying that we must insist on transition now. If not, these criminals will keep collecting money on our behalf, and that means further enslavement for the rest of our people. So we're going to move forward with the spotlight on the wisdom of our ancestors. And today we are talking about the concept of Egbe, Bere, Ugo, Bere, live and let live in Igbo traditions.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our viewers. This section is very important to us, and because we know that other people, other ethnic nations have this type of thing that we're discussing in their own area too. So go and find out. Don't think we're trying to impose our way on you. No, we're breaking it down. People who understand it, and then those that are not Igbos also, if you check in your place, you see some of these ancient codes that will help you to live the type of life you're supposed to live. So Egbe, Belu, Ugo, Belu. Anambra people will say Belu. Imo State will say Bere, but it's all the same dialect. So that's why I just put it together there. Nkesi Beye Bena, Nkukwaya.
Nkukwaya or you buy Egbe, which one? Nkesi Beye Bena, pow, you buy Egbe.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, Nkukwaya, it could mean anything. Okay, so we just know that live and let live. Where my right stops is where your own right starts. So I must recognize your rights as you recognize my rights. Then we have a balanced life. God never intended that we all have one face. If not, my face will not be different from Sister Mona's face. God is a God of variety. He wants big, tall, slim, big, young, old. He wants us that way. That's how the universe was planned. And if that happens, that means that you have to respect other people's rights, even as you expect those people to respect your rights too. So this is one of our social codes or social values and social practice as Ndi Igbo. These things guide us. That's how we're able to live and become prosperous as we have been all this while. It came from our ancestors. Ndi Igbo are Republicans with a touch of regulated theocracy. So in being free, relating with ourselves, we all also recognize that God is the supreme being. That's the Chukwu, is the supreme king. And that's why you hear names like Chibueze. So we don't, that's why we don't bow. That's how we explain to us that we don't bow to human beings. It's not that we don't respect human beings. We respect those in authority. We respect God. We have leaders and all that. However, our supreme reverence is to God. We believe that God is the supreme king, and everyone, including our politicians and local leaders, we all have to bow to him and not to human beings. So he helps us to regulate criminality and some of these excesses, people exercising too much power and authority, even at home and everywhere. So it's about concept, mindset, worldview. That's how we see world and see life as individuals. So we believe in rule of law and common or communal good. Ohaneze, here I'll talk about Ohaneze, the people and their king. We work together as humanity. So we believe in humanity. We believe that people should follow certain rules and be guided accordingly. We believe that there are consequences for wrong deeds. Yes. It's church people with their teaching. And ones that tell people, oh, do anything and it will be fine and God will forgive. Everybody will forgive. No, that's not how the ancestors look at life. They believe that anything you do, there will be consequences in equal measure, no matter what you do. So as a result, we are careful in the way we live life because we know that anything we say or do not say, there will be consequences. Not just for us, but for children after us and our families. So we are people, our ancestors live a life of being very careful in their actions and their words. And that's what we should be doing. So if any church is telling you otherwise, if you have a clash between what your ancestors said and what the church is saying, review that your church own. It might not be right because they use religion to manipulate our people because of colonialism. So they didn't bring the true gospel. If you go, we know what we're saying. That's what we're saying. There is true gospel. They manipulated, turned it upside down. That's why it's not working. If it's not working, no, it's not real. It didn't come from God. So if you will not allow another person to develop, and we're giving you an example, the meaning of having consequences. If you do not allow another person to develop or fly, because when you fly, you perch. That's the look in Igbo counting. Fly, perch. Perching is the look or bere, depending on the state you're from. Different dialects in Igbo. You say, if you will not allow person, what that means, literally, what it's talking about is others to develop. When we fly, in Igbo culture, it's like we are developing and moving, we are excelling. So if you excel, you allow your brothers and sisters to also excel. But if you will not do that, our ancestors said that your system should collapse, that your wing, you should have wing failure, you should have system failure. Whatever you are using to fly should fail. Because you are not using that thing that you're using to fly to stop your brothers and sisters from flying. So if you are not going to allow your brother, because we believe that the universe, the sky, is wide enough for everyone to fly. I don't need to fly. I don't need to bring my brother and sister down so that I can fly. The space is enough. As I'm flying, my brother is flying, my sister is flying, we are moving, everybody is excelling. So that's what our ancestors believe, that if everyone is excelling, the community will excel. So we want everyone to excel. We don't want someone Laura. We don't want the one that is only your eye that the whole village is seeing with. That is a political, is this a colonial mentality? So we're trying to switch from colonial mentality, because if we're saying no to colonialism, we will also say no to colonial mentality. Everything that the colonial monsters brought to us and use it to turn our way of living, we want to reject them. And that's why we are teaching our people. One by one, you will help us find out also. If you don't know, ask your mother, father, uncles, aunt, how did they do these things before? And we said, the culture that is not okay, if you see the culture and it's not okay, you can agree together and destroy it. But we have seen in most times, the purpose of our culture is always good intent, except when people now want to use it to do something bad. In that case, you discard it and do the right work. So, the suggestion, because there's a new one that some people are coming and say, in case he be able or go see a bog, meaning that you should show him where to perch. No, that is abomination, self. To say that type of thing is abomination. The person that didn't want you to fly or perch should now show you where to perch. Does that even make sense? Have you seen the manipulation we say they brought with their fake Christianity? Trying to turn our ways of reasoning so that you start reasoning upside down. Something that when you say it, it will give you sense. They turn it around so that when you say it, you become stupid. They're like, what you're saying doesn't even make sense anymore. So the suggestion that the wrong person should redirect the victim is not Igbo culture. You are already an offender by trying to stop your brother from flying. You should be punished because actions have consequences. You shouldn't have the right. Nobody should be giving you right to be directing, to try to redirect the victim of your evilness. No, we are not doing that. So that's not the right thing to do. Ebe belu, ugo belu, nke si bi ebe na, nkukwa ya. If you say that your brother will not prosper, then your system should collapse. We believe that life is supreme. Ndubisi, life is supreme. And everyone is born equal. So no one is expected to intimidate or suppress another person. Not even in marriage, not in work relationship, in anything. It's live and let live. Do not intimidate others. Do not suppress them. And they should not do the same to you either. We believe that human life is sacrosanct. As a result, no conflict will warrant you taking the life of another person. Whatever that conflict is, it can be resolved. You don't need to take the life of your brother or your sister. If by mistake someone loses his life through your action or inaction, which we call in English accidental manslaughter, you will be banished for 7 years. We call it osocho because we know things happen. The essence of that is because we have designated sanctuary and refuge cities where one could seek asylum. Like Nri Kingdom is one of such cities. And if you go to Numbers 35:6, you will see there, which is what we always tell our people. The white man did not write the Bible. Our people did. Our people wrote scriptures. The white man picked them the way they stole other resources, stole them, compiled them, misinterpreted some, and manipulated some for colonialism, for something negative. But what they meant for evil, God will turn around for our own good. Because we are going to use it and we will correct it because it belongs to us originally. White man does not have the ability to do what is inside that book. Inside that book is our way of life from beginning. We are the ones that have codes, omenani, that we live by in the society, that help us to live the type of life and righteous life that our ancestors have. The other day we told you about ancestorship. It's like sainthood. It's our culture. That you live in a particular way so that you will die in a particular way. We are the ones that monitor the way we live and the way we die. And we are very conscious about living right so that we can die right. So he cannot be the white man that is busy looking for a way to colonize people and kill them since their ancestors became human beings. They cannot be the one to write scriptures. They don't write scriptures. They did not write scriptures. They are unable to write scriptures, and they are unable to live according to what is inside there. They are just learning from us. So please, let's get it right. There, we're telling you about sanctuary cities, where if you mistakenly kill your brother or your sister, because we say it's live and let live, that sometimes something might happen and somebody will mistakenly lose his life or her life, which we call accidental manslaughter. If it happens, you will not live in that same land. The land, you will leave the land where that thing happened. We call it Osocho. You will run for 7 days. 7 years. The essence of you running to that sanctuary city is so that you'll be protected from blood revenge by the aggrieved relation of the dead person. Because remember, we told you that actions have consequences. So if you do something and somebody loses life, the relation of that person might want to revenge. As a result, you are told to run away for 7 years. It's kind of going to serve kind of prison. But this type of prison is not the one that you'll be inside prison and damaging you and everything. But you have to go in a different environment where you will live differently. After 7 years, there will be ceremonies before you can come back. Because you just killed a life. Even if it's by mistake, you have to, there will be consequences. So the essence is so that another person will not do that. Well, see, with something like that, you see that you're going to be careful. If you want to give your sister food or your brother food, you'll be sure that there's no poison in it. Because if anything happens, you're going to run. You will live everywhere you know for 7 years. You will live. Or you're fighting. You don't want to fight anyhow because you're busy fighting and then your brother dies. You got more such. You're going to leave the land for some time. 7 good years. It's not a child's play. So the aim of our ancestors is for everyone to live an authentic and righteous life. Live fully and freely without intimidation to or from others, to allow others to live theirs too. That's the essence of live and let live. We believe in peaceful coexistence and tolerance, good neighborliness, good conduct, non-violent interactions with others. This is what we believe. We believe that conflicts should be resolved in such a way that everyone is treated fairly. That's what we talk about, ofo nogu, equity, justice, and fairness. When there's something going wrong in the society, there will be a public, truthful, and honest conversation. Everyone will make an input until a consensus is reached. Usually, those known for being truthful, honest, and well-informed on the subject matter will lead those conversations. Not just everybody throwing in words here and there. No. Our people know, that's what we live in, like community. So we know people's capabilities. So when you're speaking, we know whether you should speak or you should not speak. If you say in a wrong way, everyone will start laughing at you. Because like, what are you talking? So you find out that people, you make input, but it has to be an intelligent input. To be, you be that, people already know you, that you're an honest person. And most of the time, when they see people that are like that, they want you to be part of every conflict resolution because they'll say, this person is always speaking the truth. Mm-hmm. This is a very honest person. Please come on, what do you think? Give us your opinion. And then they'll reach a consensus. Eventually, superior argument will prevail in all the things that they say. And there will be a collective decision on what to be done. It's our people, I said that there's this river in my place. He said it was giving problem. We got the history. That the people came together and said, this river is going to live here. That's how powerful the people are. So the people are able to make decisions and say, we don't want this, we want that. And they will make that. So is that not democracy? Our people inherited democracy. Our people inherited that life. The colonial master did not bring democracy to us. So there's have a caveat, because sometimes when we talk of things, people want to think it's their own criminality we are talking about. No. This code of live and let live does not apply to criminals and lawbreakers in the society. If you're a criminal and you're breaking law, there's nothing like live and let live for you. actions have consequences, you will face the consequences. For example, this does not apply to those duping our people in the name of freedom fighting, politics, or religion. Whether religion is traditional religion, Arabic religion, Roman religion, European religion, whatever it is, if you are duping our people, being criminally minded, this code is not for you. We are not telling you to live and let live. No, you're already a criminal and you should face consequences. You should stop what you're doing. You need to practice your religion privately. That is, spirituality is a private thing. Don't use it to destroy other people. Don't use it to kill other people. Do it without duping ignorant people. Stop this religious magic that our people are doing. Stop bowing to or worshiping or taking our resources to our enemies in the name of religion. Please stop. When people are sick, they should be taken to hospitals. You could go there and pray for them if you want. If people need money, help and support them to learn new skills so that they can work or start new business so that they can make money in a legitimate way. Stop wasting our people's time praying at your business centers. If you sit down, the Bible says that sleeping and folding hands, it says poverty will come upon you like a bandit. God made it that we should walk with our hands to earn a living. That is the standard. Not spending your time inside church 7 days in a week, praying for job when you know that you close down the industries and the companies that should where you will work. You close them down to build your churches, and you enter inside church to go and pray for work to come. God does not answer those type of prayers. You're wasting your time and you're deceiving yourself. We need to sanitize our society. That's why important to us. Because people are saying, leave them. Don't touch my church. Don't touch your church. No. We know that our people are not paying attention to the liberation movement and campaign because they're being distracted by this fake religion, fake politics, and fake freedom fighting. You see how they're linked? That's why it's a serious case. We're not here to play. We're not joking. We want to sanitize our society. We want our people to begin to reason again like human beings, not animals. So we want to remove every form of distraction, every form of lies and propaganda. We need to cleanse them from our society. The people will do it by themselves. That's why we're here talking. We are not coming to your community to do it. And that means we are violating your rights. But we are teaching you so that you can go and get more information to understand what you should do as a human being. So you stop calling us to ask for money. Because when you do the right thing, you will be empowered by yourself. I won't be the one giving you money to be alive. Me, I will make small money that is not for me. And you will make your own. And you'll be fine. If you want to visit me, it's because you want to come and see your sister. Anytime I see call from home, it's somebody asking for money. Not somebody calling to say, sister, how are you? Are you all right? How's everything? No. They won't even ask you, how are you? How are your children? How's your family? No. They won't ask you, sister, I need this. Auntie, I need that. Uncle, I need that. That is not okay. But we'll understand that you have been duped. That's why we're coming here to teach you the right thing, so that we will begin to build our capabilities and do the right thing. As a religious center, you can see that while we know that this thing is not right, is that as these religious centers are growing in number, criminality is also rising. So it cannot be right. And it's not the devil doing it. No, it's not the devil. It's man-made poverty. They created more mad poverty as they're closing down our industries and building their churches and a place of worship. It is not right. If you don't do something that is right, you will see the results. So stop giving your money to fake freedom fighters. You're going to be poor. There's no reward from it. Poverty will overtake your family because you're using your money and putting it in the wrong place. You're not making an investment. You're throwing your money away. Supporting freedom fighting that does not make sense. We told you that Biafra is phantom. It's Biafra. It does not exist. because that's not how to do what you're supposed to do. You walk, we have explained it down to you. So we're talking of ways that you will not be able to live. It's live and let live. But if you are not doing the right thing, you won't have the capacity to live. Stop following and supporting one Nigerian politicians. They hate you, and they are the source of your problem. If you can do this, live and let live. If you can do the right thing, if you can listen to us as Umada Ezioku, daughters of truth, your life will be better. And eventually, when we finish all this campaign that we're doing, you will live the life they are supposed to live. Crime is crime. Evil is evil. It should be rejected by everyone in the society, and it should be punished accordingly. Ibogade. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. So please continue to help us to share. You can see this is the last part of the program today, and our people need to get this information. We need to sanitize our land. We need to build industries instead of churches. We need to enlighten our people so they can make informed decision. So until next week, we will see you. Please, even though we're offline, continue to share the information, summarize it to others, direct them to where they need to go to get more information so that we can get home and get home faster. Until next week, we shall see you. You take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.